Great morning, great morning, great morning. I am Nicole D. Jones, and I am just happy and grateful for another day. I'm happy and grateful for life. I say it every week. I'm happy and grateful for you. I don't take days for granted. I don't take you for granted. Thank you for being accountability to me on these Monday mornings because I know you don't have to do it. I'm going to remind you that you are healthy, you are wealthy, and you are prosperous. Everything your hands go to touch, it must, it shall, and it will manifest, prosper, and grow great things because you are great. We are striving for perfection. That is not something that Jehovah God is looking for us to do. He doesn't look for us to be perfect, but it's the process, it's the pursuit, it's the tenacity that we build every day. It's the willingness to get up and keep moving no matter what, even on those low days. It's the willingness to know that every day is great. It's up to us to keep it that way. So because of that, I'm excited. Because of that, I come on here every week. If it's one person or a million people, it does not matter. By faith, I believe that this is what we need. We need accountability just to start our week, okay? That's why it's the Meal Prep Monday call, because at the end of the day, I believe that every one of my days are predestined. I believe every one of them are preordained. I believe nothing happens by chance or surprise to Jehovah God, just to me. And because of that, I am willing to start my days great. All right. So listen, we've been talking about relational intelligence, okay? And I have two co-hosts today, so it's fine. But we've been talking about relational intelligence and emotional intelligence. Like I said, if you've missed anything, go back to I am Nicole. Hold on. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Okay, put that on. Give me 1 minute, all right? Go back to I am Nicole D. Jones on YouTube and look at them. Never 30 minutes long, longer than 30 minutes. But it's so imperative to understand that relational intelligence, no matter how much you think you control your emotions, your relationships, you're healthy in them, we all have room to grow, okay? So last week, we were talking about, what were we talking about? Y'all know what we're talking about. Your inner circle, the 3 to 12 to 72, right? But focusing really on who has access to you and why. But this week, I want to do something a little different, okay? I want to share with you guys, because I left last week just saying, like, you got to know who has access to you. You have to know why these people have access to you. You have to know why you're accessible, okay? So even in doing this, I said that discernment is the ability to judge well. So, some people call it discernment, some people call it intuition, whatever it is that you follow within yourself, okay? Because all we're doing is we're learning how to be a good steward over our soul. You want to be wealthy financially, you want your money to grow, you have to be good steward over your finances. So we as humans, okay, we've got to be good stewards over our soul. We're spirit with a soul wrapped in flesh. All right. You got to be the steward. You guys, hold on, calm down, rest your lips for a minute. All right. Or go back upstairs and play till I'm done with the call. Go back upstairs. Okay. Go ahead, Sarai. Well, we have to learn how to be a good steward of our soul. So when I talk about discernment, all right, because we're supernatural in this natural space, excuse me, it's the ability to judge well. It's whatever you're using as your compass and your guide to make judgment for your life, all right? So here's the deal. You got to know what increases that. And I talked about it. What improves your discernment, what improves all of the things that you use as a compass, it is experience and experiment. Is what you have gone through and what you're willing to do and try. All right. That's what increases the capacity of your discernment. That's what increases the capacity of your decision making, your judgment. all of that. If we're not willing to learn and grow, how do you expect to learn and go? All right. What you choose to do and the things that you're doing, it has to come from somewhere. This is why I say I count it all joy, every trial and tribulation, because it's going to work perseverance in me if I choose to let it. All right. We got this free will. We have this choice. So we've been talking about relational intelligence. I mean, it had to be at least 2 months at this point. And I kind of wanted to stop and explain that a little more, because even with this, what I was thinking about as I was studying for today, that kind of made me pause. We're going to go into the acceptance next week, because we can't even accept some people's responses to us if we're not even in a place where we're judging healthy. All right. Discernment, the compass that you're using to make your decision as to who has access to you and why. If you're not in a healthy place, then you do realize your decisions won't be healthy. Or if we're really being led by our spirit more than our flesh, the answers are healthy, but the execution may not come. Okay? If we're just honest with ourselves. So when you're taking the time to really understand that discernment, evaluation, all these things are really for you. Okay? This is why I said it's okay to put you first. It is mandatory for you to put you first. But as I've been saying for 3 years, at least 2 of the 3, we are being the best versions of us unapologetically, because the things that we're doing, we're in a posture of submission and humility. We are not being arrogant and proud and putting us first. Putting us first is really this self-care. It's self-love. It's really learning to love you first. Okay? You've got to be the best version of you in order for you to be good for someone else. If you're mediocre, what you're giving is mediocre. If you're toxic, what you're giving is toxic. Whatever's in you is what you're giving. So you got to get this piece, all right? This is why we started with putting people in their proper category or areas with us. Understanding that an area is not a level up or a dummy down. It's going across left to right, okay? It's going circular, but it's not one is better than the other, because the reality is you need it all to be balanced. You have to be willing to see what and who you are allowing your time to have, what's having your time, because we can't get it back. Okay. We don't know the day or the hour when this journey will release us to our final destiny. And we can't get the time that we're playing with back. Okay. We either playing good, we playing bad, we playing dangerous, we're playing safe. But at the end of the day, what we choose to do with our time, it affects us. But if we can get to a place where we can, by faith, believe that every day is predestined, preordained, already known, already in our favor, because it's a fixed fight and we already win, we could look at things the right way. All right. So get this. This is the thing. And it's kind of going back to what I hit on last week. But I want you to understand that the best care you can do for yourself is to get this. Know who has access to you and why. Know what you're doing with your time and why. And know that the decisions that you're making and why you're willing to give yourself and put yourself in these places, why you're willing to do it. All right. It has to be healthy. It has to be more healthy than unhealthy. Because then what happens is the things that are good, because you got to remember, every role that is being played in your life, you're playing it in someone else's life. Okay. When we have people displaced or when we're displaced, somewhere the fruits of our labor is becoming sour, and the benefits of our blessings we're missing. Okay? This is why I say I try to be intentional to be on the heartbeat of God. When things start feeling froggy, I try not to leap. Okay? I try to learn to be still because something is off. Either I'm off and I need to fall back, or I'm not in the right place and I need to abort and remove myself. Okay? Gotta know this. So here's the thing. You gotta remember that even though it's someone you may want in your life, they may not have the capacity to hold you. Okay? It's about capacity. All right? Your judgment expands based on your capacity. Okay? So as you're learning and growing, your homegirl may not be. No shade. It's just we're in different seasons. We go through different realms. We walk and we pivot different ways because life happens. All right? Life happens. January 12th, 2022, the whole trajectory, if I said that word right, listen, my whole pivot, listen, I'm winning a whirlwind and I'm trying to spin back forward when my dad passed. All right? It just is what it is. So in that movement, in that having to, do 2 services for my dad, he was here in Georgia with me. I have siblings, but he was here. I was front line, okay? Doing that, getting his house in order and established because Kadeja lived there, getting her, on her feet because she's grown and, trying to help her how she needed. Moving, I sold my house, emotional, you know what I'm saying? Sold my house, wasn't expecting it to go under contract in 48 hours, all right? Living in an apartment while I'm looking for another house. Now being at the house and now having to unpack. Where people look at boxes, I look at memories. I'm having to go through my dad's whole world, y'all. All right? So no, I'm not who I was January 11th of 2022. That girl is gone. All right? And to be honest with you, I don't want her back because I believe even in the tragedy or what the world calls tragedy, I choose by faith and hope to fuel it and let it fuel me to be greater, to appreciate time because I love him and I appreciated him. And I'm grateful that I had 48 years, all right, of memories, and my good memories outweigh my bad memories. I'm not in a denial. Every day wasn't a great day, but by faith and by choice, I hold on to what has made me who I am. It's the losing of my dad that has given me the posture and the stance to do what I'm doing in such an aggressive way with you all now. He lives in me, okay? So you got to get to where you're understanding the compass of your judgment, where it's coming from in you. You've got to keep it as healthy as you can so that you can make the healthiest decisions. Because what's close to you is what impacts you on your journey, period. If it's healthy, your journey is healthier. If it's toxic, your journey is toxic, okay? And then you have to be strong enough to cleanse your soul. So it's very important for you to understand what you're using to gauge and judge, okay? And then you have to understand, you've got to know that you know, because the person on the other side may not understand. It has nothing to do with feelings, y'all. Nothing to do with feelings. Okay? I've told y'all before, I love my husband, but the reality is in some areas, I can't hold what he's going through. He can't hold what I'm going through. And you got to find peace with that. It's not personal. It's your journey. It's being a good gatekeeper of your soul. Okay? It's not about feelings. Hurting people's feelings. You want to spare someone's feelings, but you want to die. Come on. Makes no sense. All right? So listen, you've got to know that, and you've got to be okay to reassign people. Reassigning someone doesn't mean you got to cut them off. It just means, hey, in this season, maybe we're not talking as much. In this season, maybe I need quiet time. Anyone who know me on a personal level, I talk all the time, okay? Like, listen, if I don't talk to you for two weeks, man, it's been enough conversation. And that person, you gauge their capacity or even their free will to respect what you need by how they move. Your job in your journey is to see how other people love. You watch how people love, and then in those seasons, you decide whether or not you're going to be a partaker. You should never be forced or strong-armed. Now, relationally, my daughter's my daughter, my husband's my husband, my mother's my mother, my sister's my sister. But even in these family ties, you still can control your interaction. Doesn't stop me from loving any of them. But you got to learn to do what's best for you. Okay? So, what time is it? It's 10:18. I want to kind of, and know that you don't have control on whether or not the other person wants a different relationship. Okay? But what you can control is what you know. And then you have to learn, it's communication, y'all. Because if someone truly loves you, then they'll respect what you need in this season. And then their faith will hopefully even grow. Because sometimes people hold on because they're afraid to lose you. But if you hold on to something, you just gonna squeeze it. You're gonna suck the life out of it. You can't do that to yourself. Okay? So I wanted to spend the last 10 minutes for y'all. If it's your first call or if you've been following, as we've been going through relational intelligence, any questions, any comments, anything you want to share this week, please unmute yourself and talk to me if you don't want to show me you.
I'll go first. I just wanted to say thank you for that. Sometimes the fruit of our labors get sour. Because I know for me, I'm thinking, oh, it's fruit of my labor. Like, so it's all good. But no, it's stale. It's sour. It went bad. So thank you for that reminder and that point.
Yes. Because you got to remember, if our days are predestined and preordained, if you're not in the right space, then whatever you're doing is good intentions, but that may not be what you were called to do in that moment. And that's what I mean. Like, this is how we're the gauge of our discernment, the compass that we're following. This is how we learn and grow, because then you have to have an ear to hear the Holy Spirit who's been left to lead, guide, and direct you, and say, no, Jacinta, that was nice, but I needed you over here. You remember when I said this, and this? That's when we repent. That's when we get up quickly. That's how we learn and grow. So, anyone else?
Good morning. May I say something this morning?
Great morning. I can hear you.
In regards to the discernment and relationship, I've been studying Ecclesiastes and Solomon with the wisdom that he had. Remember, he was given all that wisdom. And when it was talking about, though he had all that wisdom, but when it's not pleasing God, it's vanity. So sometimes with our relationships or our good intentions or just wanting to be good friends and trying to be good, being good without the obedience is detrimental to any relationship, and it could sour or grow your fruit, but it's all about the obedience and the discernment, making sure your discernment allows for you not to just walk in your own wisdom, but the wisdom of God, so that you're not disobedient and you don't miss what he has for you. He has to be the center, not necessarily your intentions, but it has to be God's his basically his command or his word or what he wants, his purpose.
So true. So true. And you got to remember that he put us on this journey for us to learn and grow. So even in being, it's all about being intentional. Okay. So it's not like you walking around on eggshells, but you got to be willing to learn and grow. When something is shown to you against your will, what are you going to choose? And the truth of the matter is you choose life or death. You choose right or wrong. It's really that cut and dry. It's really that simple. But what's simple to do is also simple not to do. And it's really just, for me, the focus is I want to be a good steward over my soul. Okay? I believe that I'm supernatural in this natural space. So I believe that there are things naturally that want to stop me from gaining everything that I'm supposed to on this journey. Because anything that we can think of on this journey, our destiny is greater. Okay? But we don't have the capacity to see and understand that. So if I believe that everything on this journey I want is great. So everything that I have can become greater if I could learn the compass. All right? So that's good, because your wisdom is a person. Wisdom is a spirit, just like friendship is a spirit. We're spirit beings. All these things are spirit, okay? And we can grow them, and our soul can line up the way that it's supposed to. Our flesh dies as the soul increases. The spirit is the spirit. It is who you are. But it's like this. The more your soul grows, the flesh will diminish. And it becomes easier. The more your soul grows, the happier you become. You become the fruits of the spirit. You become who you really are in this natural space. Okay? Anyone else? Any questions? Anything you struggling with? It doesn't matter. Whatever you want to say, share. If it be not, it's okay too.
Well, I just want to say, this is Brittany Burrell. I just want to say I really enjoy your calls, more of edification. Enjoy your calls. It's always refreshing to hear somebody else with more experience. Besides, y'all excuse my eyes. I've been traveling all weekend, so I need more sleep. But I just appreciate you just taking the time out every single week to just pour and give value, and always amazing value, and coming from the heart and your vulnerability, and just sharing your truths and sharing those experiences so we all can personalize that and take that and be relatable. So just thank you for taking time out every single week, because you don't have to. And thank you for your obedience to God, and thank you for being God-led. And shout out to everybody else on the call as well. So I just appreciate you for being somebody else I could tune in with. So I love you. I appreciate you. Absolutely.
To God be the glory. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else?
Good morning, everyone. Thanks, Nicole, for all that you're doing. I just wanted to touch upon what you said about, sometimes you just need to step away and take time for yourself. I had to do that a couple of weeks ago. I was being pulled in so many different directions that I just needed to just move away from everyone and just have that moment in quiet time with God, just by myself, where I cannot be reached. And sometimes you feel guilty because everybody wants you, everybody needs you, but I can't give if I'm not fed. I can't give from an empty cup. So it's okay to just pull back and stay in the word, so that God could lead you and encourage you and minister to you, so that you can do what you need to do, because you have so many roles, from being a mom, from being a daughter, taking care of elderly parent, and just so many people pulling it. I need you to pray for me. But honestly, I need to be prayed for. I need to be prayed for. So I need to pull on back. So I just wanted to tell anyone who's on the line feeling guilty about it, don't feel guilty about it at all.
Mm-hmm.
And if you need to move away, go into a hotel by yourself, go away, whatever it is that you need to do, take an hour just to meditate, whatever, go to the park and just pray, cry, worship, whatever it is, do it and don't feel bad about it. So continue to be blessed. God bless you, Nicole. May God give you 100-fold for what you're doing and ministering to us. And everybody else, God bless you.
I receive it. Thank you, Carmel. That is so true. That's it. Like, we have to remember, and I had to do this, like, Jehovah God loves me too. He loves you too. Because I know for me, I get angry. I ain't gonna lie. I tell people all the time, my beef is not with you, it's with the Lord. It's with God, because I believe that he knows, and these, I believe he knows my days before I know them. So when they're like wacky and whack on crack, I'm like, for real? Like, why have thou forsaken me? All right. Until that one time he talked back, he clapped back, y'all. You wanna line yourself up with Jesus? That was a joke. That was a joke. Because he paid the ultimate price. You want to play victim? You is that what we doing right now? Oh, so you forgot all the favor. Maybe you're your own problem. And I had to start looking at me, because I don't believe he has it. Woo, listen to this. If you're in a place where you're heavy, if you're in a place where you're overwhelmed, you've got to do what Carmel said, because you're carrying things that don't belong to you. Because he will not put no more on you than you can bear. So when we start feeling overwhelmed, when we are like pulled in all these different directions, that's where you got to go back and reevaluate who has access to you and why. Okay. I told someone this weekend, God is the double head coin. It's heads. It's not head tails. So every interaction he's giving, and you give and take in every interaction on both sides. Okay. On both sides. So if I'm here now, I'm receiving, I'm giving. You guys are receiving, you're giving. Okay. It's always like that with him. So when we start feeling like, woo, too much, we've got to pull back. And that's where you got to remember that God loves you as much as he loves the one you're praying for, as much as he loves the one you're helping. He will not exhaust you to fill someone else. People should be in the overflow. Our cup runs over. Okay? If I sow into Brittany, I shouldn't be bankrupt. If my well run dry, I'm doing something wrong. You can't look at that. You got to look at you. All right? Man, this was great. This was a good call. Thank y'all for being willing to talk back to me, because just like Carmel just said, and what we pointed out, I need it too. Because sometimes I sit over here, feel like I'm the only one being towed up from the floor up, but I know it's not true. That's why I keep pressing and pushing. All right. So this week, know your compass. Go back. Listen, I'll make sure I have this on. I've been getting them up on YouTube if not within the same day, by the next day, but I'm going to do it today before I go with the littles. And I want you to remember to stay focused, stay humble, and stay positive. Be the best version of you unapologetically by submitting, by being humble. Do not be arrogant. Do not be proud. And know that you're relevant, you're necessary, you're needed. No one can do what you do but you. All right? I want you to continue to have a fantabulous rest of the day. Smooches.